everyone, welcome back. For those who are new, my name is Keri, and today I'm going to be telling you about the top 8 must-sees that need to be done if you ever visit Barcelona, Spain. I've been in Barcelona for, 2-3 months now, so I've definitely gotten around to doing a lot of the touristy things or just more activities in Barcelona. So I'm going to be rating the top 8 things from least favorite to most favorite thing to do and let you guys know. Now, when I did all of these things, my boyfriend was visiting Barcelona, so honestly, I probably would not have done some of these things by myself if he weren't here. But a lot of the activities are super family friendly. If you do have kids or younger children, I think they would really enjoy it. But I mean, we're also, 21-year-olds and we enjoyed them all just as well. One second. Pulling up my list. Starting at number 8, the Barcelona Aquarium. Now I think paid about 25 euros to get into the Barcelona Aquarium. It's kind of right on the coast down by the port. It's really pretty down there. There's a lot to do kind of just in that area. The reason why I rank it so low is because it is definitely a smaller aquarium. We walked through the entire thing twice in about the span of an hour. They didn't have every single animal. I think the biggest they had was maybe like a mid-sized shark in their big tank, and then there were some penguins. That's kind of about it. Then there's a lot of little fish. There were a lot of tour groups there from schools with like the younger children. So clearly if you have like little babies, I'm sure they would enjoy that. But I've been to the Shed Aquarium in Chicago, which is, if you've been, a very, very huge aquarium. So compared to that, it was like really small. I mean, if you have time to kill and some money to spend, then you can definitely check it out. But if you also don't get around to it, not the end of the world. You really are not missing much. But it was still fun. Number 7, the Ciutadella Park. Now, this is a huge park. It's really fun to spend the day at. Maybe not the day. Spend maybe like half the day out. They have a ton of ice cream stands and people trying to sell the little kids huge balloons or whatnot. But they have this fountain that's really pretty. It's a Ciutadella fountain. Is it even a fountain? I don't know. There's like a drought going on in Barcelona currently, so a lot of our big fountains, there's something called the Magic Fountain in Barcelona, which I haven't been to yet, but I heard it's not really worth going because they don't even have the water running because we're in a drought right now. But this one does have some water like in the pond area, and it's really, really pretty to see. When we were walking up to it, apparently you can kind of like go up into it. I'm not really sure, we didn't do that, but we could hear music playing. It almost sounded like a day party happening. When we went, it was like a really nice day out, so we just sat on a park bench and I took a nap. Just enjoyed the sun and the cool breeze, and it's just really lively. People are, running, jogging, walking their dogs, bringing their kids. Feels like a very tight-knit community being there, so I definitely love that. Ciutadella Park is very close to Barceloneta, so you could definitely go there and then get like lunch or dinner at the beach and watch the sunset. That would be really pretty. Number 6 is Sagrada Familia. Now, Sagrada Familia has been in the works since a while. I think they had their predicted finish date to be somewhere around like, 2020-ish. I don't know, but now it's like a couple decades in the future. I have no idea. But the Sagrada Familia is like the big church in Barcelona. It's really pretty. You can go inside and tour it, but I have not toured the inside yet just because, again, I don't really want to pay the money, especially when my family comes in the end of May. I'm sure they're going to be wanting to visit inside, and so my mom will probably cover that for us. I've heard that inside the Sagrada is very, very pretty, so it's probably definitely worthwhile if you do come. Also, around Sagrada, they have this nice big food truck and all these little knick-knack stands where you can buy, little souvenirs or whatever. It's a really pretty church. There's also a little park there. We sat there, watched the birds. People usually have some type of activities going on, playing guitar, singing, having little banners up or whatever. And then you can get ice cream and kind of walk around the Sagrada area. Not much to do there, but it's definitely something you need to check out if you come to Barcelona. And then moving on to number 5, we have Barceloneta, which I just mentioned. Barceloneta is the long beach right on the coast. It's fairly big. It's lined with a lot of restaurants, tapas bars, desserts right on that street, and you can kind of see the port with all the sailboats and ships and yachts and whatever. In Barceloneta, on the beach, they have volleyball nets, so during the summer you can get a group of friends together, bring a volleyball and play there, and then you guys can all go get some ice cream, just a short walk's distance. Me and my boyfriend, for our last night before he went home, we got a nice little dinner right on the beach. It was dark, so you couldn't really see anything, but it looks just like any other beach. And if you go at sunset, a lot of people sit in the sand and watch watch the sunset, bring some drinks and some snacks, and it's just very pretty to be on that. And I haven't been yet to spend a whole day at the beach because it hasn't really been warm enough, but I might go do it like this weekend or next because it's supposed to be a lot warmer and I'm not traveling to a different country. So definitely worth checking out, especially if you come in the summer or warmer months. It's nice to walk around and just kind of feel that beachy vibe. Number 4 is Park Güell. Now, Park Güell is probably one of the touristy attractions that you see like a lot of really pretty pictures from because they kind of have these colorful mosaics that you can take pictures in front of, and the way that the houses are just set up are beautiful. And it's this like huge kind of park area, but it's like in the mountains. So first off, it is a bit of a hike to get up there, I'm not gonna lie, unless you can get a bus or like a cab. We did the hike and we're like absolutely dying, but it was really pretty. The higher we went up, the windier it got. I don't know if it was just kind of the day that we went or if it was just naturally like that because you're higher up kind of in the mountains, but it was really pretty. We spent about an hour and a half there. They have food that you can get, they have snacks, they have these like pretty colorful houses that you can go inside of. I believe they were like souvenir shops, but I'm not 100% sure because we did not do that. There's just a lot of cool like architecture and parks all within it, so it's definitely like, you know, spend a couple hours there, walk everything, tour it all. They got a lot to do at Park Güell. It also, you do have to buy tickets for it, but they weren't super expensive from what I remember. Definitely cheaper than the Aquarium. I want to say they were maybe like 15-20 euros. Don't quote me on that, but it wasn't too bad to get into it. And from there you can also get a really nice pretty view of the entire city of Barcelona. However, I will also tell you one of my favorite spots to get one of the best views. So then moving on to number 3, bunkers. Now bunkers, I guess, is this abandoned place, something to do with politics and military way back when, but now it's this great overlook point that a lot of people go to watch the sunset. Now this one is a big hike. I did hear you can take a bus. I've never done it though, so I'm not sure like how much further you'd have to walk if you did take the bus, but otherwise you can do the metro and then it's about a 20-minute hike up to the actual bunker spot. Now you gotta come early if you have a big group. Me and my boyfriend, when we went, we kind of got there right at sunset. We kind of came late, but it was like really crowded. We were able to find a spot because there were only 2 of us, but if you're going with like a big group of 10, you're definitely gonna want to get there at least an hour and a half before sunset to really get a nice spot. But as you can see, it's really pretty. Everybody comes here, they watch the sunset. This is where they bring, you know, wine, sangria, a nice drink to sip on, along with some maybe like tapa items, so like ham, cheese, crackers, that type of stuff. We brought some snacks, we brought some soda and some donuts and chips, and people usually stay here even past sunset because when it goes dark, then you can see the lights of the city, and that's really pretty as well. And when I say you can see the whole city, man, you can see the entire city of Barcelona. It's absolutely gorgeous. So this is definitely a must. Not something to do like every night because the hike is a lot, I will say, but if you have friends visiting or family, you definitely need to go check it out because there's no better place in Barcelona to watch the sunset than at bunkers. So then number 2, we have the Cosmo-Caixa Science Museum. Now this is kind of up in the mountains as well a little bit. It's like the border between the city and the mountains. This was a science museum and it was a very interactive science museum. It was really big. There were like 5 different floors. Not everything was open. They did have some media labs and science labs for like little kids, or if like school tour groups come in, they can do that, but they were all closed when we were there. But even just the first floor, there was a lot of science activities that we could like interact with, and I mean, I felt like a kid again. Anthony as well, he loves the nerdy stuff. Not only did we get to like learn some new things, I mean, I probably haven't learned science in a couple years, but here we were able to kind of learn a few things and interact and kind of see it in motion, which was really fun. And then there was also some parts of history, so like we could see like dinosaurs, and then there was also a little like aquarium part that you could kind of walk through. It was like a, what do they call it, like a jungle forest type thing that you could see. They had an insect room to see some insects and bugs, so that was really fun. If you have kids, you'll definitely spend a long time here. I think we spent about 2 hours here. They do have this cafe or like smaller food areas where you can get some food, and then there's a big courtyard that has like a fairly nice view of the city, and you can just hang out in the courtyard. But that was really fun to do as well. They have a little gift shop, and at the gift shop, of course, I wanted to buy everything because it was just so cool. And it reminded me of those field trips when I was a kid and we would go to like a science museum or like a zoo, and then you'd go to the gift shop, or your parents gave you 10-20 bucks and you got to buy like a cool thing. I remember getting like the ant farm where it was like that blue gel, and then you put ants in and then you can see them make their tunnels in there. It was fun to kind of reminisce on like all the little little toys that we got so excited about when we were kids, but that was definitely number 2. I'd never been there, and I don't think I'd actually heard about it until Anthony was here, and we were like, oh, what should we do? And we looked it up, and it was really, really outstanding, incredible. I did not expect it. That's why that's my number 2. And then number 1, oh my gosh,
I can rave about this forever.
the Tibidabo amusement park. Now this one, you think Bunkers is high? Tibidabo is all the way at the top of Barcelona. You think you're on top of the world at Bunkers, but the view from Tibidabo made Bunkers look like an anthill. Like, that's how high up it was. Tibidabo is the amusement park on a hill. Not a hill, on a mountain. It was like impressive. Now when we went, unfortunately, it was like very windy, so a lot of the cool rides, like the Ferris wheel, and then there's this cool plane ride that you could like kind of tour around, and then there's this needle that you go up to the top to see like the best views. Those were all shut down because of the wind advisory, but it was nice. They had a lot to do there. We spent all day there. Tickets were not that expensive as well. You take this funicular up, basically kind of like this tram train thing, takes you all the way up the mountain, and then you get to the amusement park, and it's like kind of leveled, so you can kind of see down the hill the other parts of the amusement park. But they had like a lot of kitty rides for like little babies, but then they also had some like other rides. We did this like Kruger's Haunted House, which was really fun. I somehow got pushed to the front and was like leading the entire group, but it was fun. It was really cool. And then we got food. We got a hot dog from a little hot dog stand, and then there was like this 4D animation show that was also really cool to watch, even though it was all in Catalan, which is nothing like Spanish. And then they just had a ton of other rides. We did bumper cars, which was really fun. Got whiplashed a few times, almost got thrown out of the car. There was a lot to do. And then there was this little thing called like Tibi City, which is basically small scale streets, so that little kids that were like, you know, 4 feet could get in these little cars and drive around and figure out like how the stop signs work and crosswalks. And I wanted to do it. I just barely missed the height cutoff, so like I think the height cutoff was 60 inches or below, and I'm 59, so I could have done it, but it was geared towards little kids, so I was like, I'm maybe gonna save the humiliation on that one. We did this other ride where we got to get in this little cart and then like shoot zombies. It was like one of those interactive games. It's nothing compared to Disney or like any really big amusement park, but for what it is, it's really nice. And if you have like, again, younger children or kids, it is definitely a place to spend the whole day. We were there from like the time it opened to, you know, 7-8 p.m. But that was definitely my number 1 favorite thing that I've done in Barcelona so far. And if you don't want to go for all the rides or whatever, they had a lot of stands with food. Anthony had churros, like authentic churros con chocolate while we were up there. They also had like gelato, pizzas, hot dogs, whatever. So even if you don't go for the rides, you can go for the view. And then there's also this church that we walked up, which was really pretty. We were there at sunset, so we got to see the sunset over the city as well. Very beautiful. I mean, definitely need to go. But anyways, those are all of the things that I've done in Barcelona, at least when Anthony was here. We did together, and we just kind of ranked them from there of what was our favorite. There are definitely a lot more touristy things to see in Barcelona, but those are just the ones that we ended up getting around to, because we also did spend a couple days in Mallorca. We're putting together that video. I don't know if it'll be out before the Barcelona one or after this video, but it will definitely be out soon of what we did in Mallorca. But anyways, Barcelona is definitely a pretty city. Out of all the places that I've visited, between Madrid, Mallorca, and being in Barcelona, I definitely think Barcelona's it. Barcelona's a place to be. Comment down below if you've ever visited Barcelona and if you had a favorite activity or tourist attraction that you've done, or if you've heard about something that you want to see in Barcelona, let me know. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!